to history for Foos. We went to the City Hall in Los Angeles for justice. And that's all we found was just us.
Nice.
Richard Pryor right there, man. When he was talking about
Oh, is that what he said?
and when it was
The
material,
quote.
yeah. We went out there for justice, and that's how we found just us. It was pretty much sums up the all the protesting in Los Angeles.
Right.
We went out there for justice, and all we found was just us.
Just us, especially this last riots we had.
This is not even a riot, bro. Like 10
Yes.
people got arrested for just putting a flower in a cop's chest. Bro, unless you
A
start
heavy cement flower.
Bro, unless you start seeing fucking Armenians with shotguns and AK-47s on top of the 99-cent stores they own, it ain't a riot, bro.
It's Armenians this time.
If you don't
Yeah.
see fucking those Indian motherfuckers in Artesia on top of their roofs
It ain't a riot.
protecting their fucking 89-cent stores,
Yeah. Well,
it's not a riot, bro.
I was at a bar when they were like announced that they were bringing out the National Guard when Trump.
They brought him in too soon,
And
bro.
this dude goes, "Man, it gets worse during when the Lakers win." And I was like, "Fuck, dude!" Like, because it was crazy how they just brought him in like that, man.
Bro, that's something you do when your approval ratings is down.
Right.
'Cause,
Or you're trying to hide something.
yeah, or whatever. Or your approval rating is down, man, you take a bullet to the ear, you know?
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan, bro, when he was shot, his approval ratings went so high, he got reelected. But before that, it was all down,
Is
bro.
that really true?
Yeah.
So that's probably what got him reelected was that he got shot.
Yeah, and also, man, that's what I know that he was very popular after he was shot. And to this day, people know the guy who shot him. They know his name.
Yeah. Hinckley.
Yeah.
Something Hinckley Jr. And I don't even know much about that, really.
And he did it because, going to hear something crazy? He wrote that book, Catcher in the Rye, which is my brother's favorite book.
Hinckley Jr. wrote
No,
the guy?
that was his favorite book,
Oh, that was his favorite book.
Catcher in the Rye.
Catcher in the Rye.
That's my brother Angel,
Uh-huh. That's his favorite book.
and he's been in and out of prison too, bro.
What is Catcher in the Rye about?
It's about a guy who steals a rye bread from an old lady in New York. And he goes, "Give me that rye bread, you old hag." And that's our video for next week.
Sometimes I'm expecting like the correct answer and it doesn't.
I never read Catcher in the Rye,
never
bro,
read
because
it.
I'm not crazy.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know what's funny is my mom's favorite book was Catcher in the Rye, and she was crazy.
Okay, there you go.
She was fucking brute. My mom was a
Bro,
violent, crazy
There's
person.
3 books that defines the generation of Generation X, which is us, and before us. If you read Catcher in the Rye, you're a crazy motherfucker, bro. All right? You crazy. If you read On the Road by Jack Kerouac and never finished it, you are on the road right now. You are on the road right now.
You're on the road with a lot of other people, dude.
You mention that book to people without quoting not even one line from the book.
Yes, there's so many people. There's so many people that talk about it that have never read it.
And if you read Charles Bukowski, you're probably an alcoholic, a player, a guy who lives alone, and a guy that's supposed to write a novel sooner or later.
I gotta admit, Charles Bukowski gave me. I didn't really know Bukowski till I met you. Like I'd heard quotes and stuff. Then I met you, and you let me hear this like, I don't know, maybe a page and a half of him reading, and I was like, this guy's the best thing ever. And I started listening to him, and it's like, oh, Charles Bukowski gives me a good reason for being like a lazy piece of shit. I love like it makes it very poetic. So yeah, I think Bukowski's more the book that I started reading. Oh, what is that? Who's that?
You recognize that fool to the right, bro?
Guy to the right. No.
You're not ready,
Who
dog.
is that guy? Who is that guy?
Right? Look at him closely.
Oh, that guy. Oh, no. You're not ready, bro. Holy shit. I did not recognize that. What is that from?
I wish I would have brought this up when we were doing History for Fools comedy, Latino comedy, because Willie Barcena, Chacha Sandoval, that dude, I don't know his name, but he has good hair.
Yeah, it looks like a really polished
I had him on the What's Up Fool podcast.
Okay.
I can't think of his name right now. And Larry Omaha, bro, native comedian.
Yeah, that's how okay, the guy on that right hand was the one.
And
I
there was
looking at.
it's called Underexposed, and they
Okay.
were a Latino comedy group, like Boys in the Hood, Boys, Kids on the Block, that type of shit.
Oh, no shit.
And they would do sketches together.
Oh, I wonder why they didn't. They didn't. Keep
And
it
Willie
going.
was a highlighted of the show.
Oh my god, bro, that must have been. I wish I was a fly on the wall in that room, dude. Like, could you imagine having to be in a comedy sketch group with Willie Barcena, and he's the like hottest comic in the group? Like,
He said, I heard that the Mitty Shore put that group together.
really? No shit.
Yeah, and then Willie said, "Nah, I want to do stand up probably."
Right.
So he'll like break off from the group and do stand up, and then that's when he was banned from the Comedy Store
Oh,
or
wow.
kicked out. I'm not sure. I could have it all wrong. History for Fools. You know what I'm talking about.
History for Fools. Our motto should be.
Anyway,
I
so-
could have it all wrong.
So you guys want to know more about that? Go ask the man himself. Hey, bro, what happened to Underexposed?
Wish that he was talking to me now, so I could ask him that. But then would make him not talk to me again.
Bro, so I was this Chinese market, and man, they always have the great stuff. I found a box of hotcakes, ube. Add water.
Ube hotcakes.
And I
Just
add
water.
And I add puto too, the Filipino putos, Pinoy favorite.
Okay.
Hot cake creamy classic. And there's other
Where'd
stuff.
you find that at?
I never heard of bibinga.
Oh, babinga.
Never heard
I've
of
had
it.
babinga.
Pinoy favorite, just that water.
Yeah, babinga or something like that.
I never had
Yeah.
none of those.
I've had babinga.
I really like to suck
Because
bingas
I have
too.
my
Maricon.
ex-wife is Filipino, and I think she bought that exact thing before.
Yeah, man.
I'm not a fan. I'll be honest. Not a fan.
You know what's crazy? How, like, immigrants, right? Irish, German, whoever, when they came and they made stuff with their foods. And we talked about that when we talked about Chinese food and soul food.
Yes. Great
And,
episode, by the way.
But the next generation, I don't know, maybe they can't find the products. So now the products are easier to find. So it's now in a box. And then they're in a box, right? And then you still have to add eggs, oil, water, and salt.
Right.
Okay, that's the way that generation does it. Then the next generation, their box is the box we have, where you just add an egg and a water. Very simple and shit.
Yeah.
So you ask me right now, how do I make pancakes without that box?
How do you?
I have no fucking idea, motherfucker. I'm gonna have to go 3 generations to relearn that
To
shit.
relearn it, yeah.
Because my mom and my grandmother, they know how to make pancakes
From scratch.
without even looking at it, without
Right.
even measuring.
Yeah.
Me, I know that I bought boxes where you gotta put an egg in the oil. That's my generation.
Right.
But now it's just egg in a box.
You don't even need. No, it's water.
Water.
Like what used to be the old Aunt Jemima. It's called something Mill now.
You think sooner or later we're gonna skip all that, and then it'll just be a pill
It'll be no.
that expands your stomach?
Like in fucking Running Man
And the
God, I hope
Jetsons?
not. But I think what is happening though is that it'll be like, so like guys that fly in like those bombers, they have to wear spacesuits, and so you can't take your spacesuit off to eat, and they'll be flying for hours, and they have a metal tube with like a big long straw at the end of it that they poke into a hole in the side of their helmet, and it's got like it's got a meal in it. There's like a pizza in one. There's like a sundae, like a banana sundae, in another one. And I watched an interview with those guys, and they're like, it tastes just like that, what you're eating. So I think that will evolve into that eventually.
So in the future, we're not gonna chew on shit.
It'll be tubes. I mean, it's like, you ever hear of that theory that the aliens that we see with the fake and weird face and stuff, that's just us in the future, that will at some point not need certain things like teeth or, I don't know, like parts of our bodies that, like a nose, like at some point we won't need a nose anymore.
Why people worry about that?
I don't worry about it, but I mean.
But that's crazy. Like, why people want to know all that stuff?
Yeah.
What a waste of time.
Studying evolving.
All that time you could learn how to play ukulele, man. You could learn how to draw. You could learn how to do a script.
Absolutely.
You could learn how to clean jewelry.
Right.
We put $11 into that bullshit, bro.
I think they put more, dude.
And then you start believing whatever the guy who's talking, you start believing his political views.
Yeah, that could happen.
That's what happens, bro. Like,
right.
You sit there for a long time, but later on, the message gets into your head, bro, what they're trying to send you.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
like all this time you're watching, you're binge watching a show, but then you go out and buy a box of Bingingak.
Right, whatever's on it, yeah.
Because you're watching a bunch of Filipino comedians all day.
Bibimbap.
Bibimbap.
Not bibimbap. What were we saying?
Binganga.
Babinga.
Binganga.
Bibimbap, I think, is for Korean people. I don't know. Exactly. Babinga can refer to things primarily a group of pygmy peoples in Central Africa, a type of African hardwood. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. That's nice.
So I guess babinga is a flat pancake.
I guess. I use the pancake with the water. I'll be honest with you. I can make pancakes from scratch because I looked it up one time on the internet, but I don't mind the water with the fucking, just adding water is fine. I put it in a jar, shake it up, instant breakfast.
In that book, Factotum, him and Henry Chinaski and this lady, they get up in the middle of the day and shit, right? And it's how fucking alcoholic type he is, bro.
This book is like so good.
How bad he is. She has to, you know what time it is? And their clock is slow. So it's 30 minutes, it's like 45 minutes ahead. And when it hits the hour and 45 minutes, the clock stops for 30 minutes. Then then you got to rewind it and start it again. So you owe yourself 160 minutes. So he does all that shit, all that math.
Right.
To tell her that's 5:50. Then he puts the clock back to the right time, 5:50. But then it slows down at 45 minutes. It starts again. And then she goes, "You want dinner?" She goes, all we have is still pancake mix. Like, who? That's a typical hood rat woman alcoholic right there.
All we have is pancake mix?
Yeah, like, you don't know that for the last 3 days. All you have is pancake mix. You got to keep repeating it. It's making it worse.
Yeah.
Just say straight up, you want to eat? We got pancakes.
Right.
Open the refrigerator again and get dramatic. All we have is pancakes. Bitch, we have pancakes 3 days ago. We have pancakes today. And then she tells them, we forgot to get butter. He says, I'll eat them dry.
Right.
She's like, I ate your dried ass.
I remember that part of the book because I remember thinking like,
bro, how fucking horrible.
I cannot eat pancakes without butter, bro.
You know what that pancake tastes like, bro? With no butter and just right there?
Ass.
It tastes like the worst fucking cone with no ice cream ever.
Yeah, it's gross. It's actually grosser than that.
It tastes like a ice cream cone with no ice cream, but worse.
I've had it because my mom. My mom is the kind of mom who is like, we don't have fucking syrup or butter. Be happy with what you got, and so you'd have to eat it or you get beat. So fucking, I would just eat it, and I remember eating dry pancakes one time. And it was the grossest thing I ever tasted. And it took me years to get that taste out of my mouth anytime I'd eat pancakes. Like now I love pancakes again, but it kind of fucked me up for pancakes for a while.
We used to eat flapjacks. Bro, I thought...
You mean the one in the freezer?
Bro, growing up, we would eat pancakes with no syrup.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Bro, this is the pancake that we would get.
But I could have pancakes with butter and no syrup, but not no butter and no syrup.
No, it's just no butter or no syrup.
Oh, that's so gross, dude.
So my mom would just put a bunch of sugar and cinnamon sticks
on it.
That's
not
you
bad.
Pull the cinnamon stick out while you're eating it.
Oh, okay, never
So,
mind.
but the cake, so it was like a pancake and then fried, bro.
Right.
But it was sugary inside, it had flavor.
And so it cracked
and then
when you ate it.
we'll put jelly over it.
Yes. That sounds amazing.
It was good, fool.
That sounds amazing.
So I didn't know that later on we would look at the white people and shit in commercials with syrup.
Right. Oh, so you didn't even know about syrup as a kid?
No.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, I knew about it. I just didn't. Sometimes my mom was like, fuck it, we don't have syrup. You know what I did though one time? I had the Captain Crunch, when all that shit at the bottom when you're done with the box of Captain Crunch? There was a little bit, not enough for a bowl. And so I smashed the rest of that up and I poured it into the pancake mix. And then I made the pancake. And that was fucking bomb, bro. That was bomb. I'm a fat man Olympiad.
Wow, so your cereal came with a needle with insulin in it.
Pretty much.
I got a needle.
Pretty much.
That's
probably what kicked over my type 2 diabetes was that particular set of pancakes.
Wow.
Actually, that might be true. That was around the time I was diagnosed. But yeah, totally.
There it is, bro. Lucky Charms, honey.
Oh, yeah. See? Dude, I swear to God, just take some cereal, crunch it up, whatever your favorite kind is, like Cocoa Pebbles or something, and throw that into it's fucking amazing, dude. It's amazing. Whoever did that's a genius, right?
I will crunch it up, bro. My favorite cereal, like Fruit Loops. Crunch it up, put it to the side. Then I will get that one Lucky Charms.
Okay.
With the marshmallows.
Yeah.
I would crunch up the marshmallows on the side, right?
Oh,
and then when I get my cone, I would dip them all in there.
No.
And then add
Genius,
I would add blue syrup over it.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
That
sounds amazing.
There's a British guy in London, somewhere South London, mate. And that fool, bro, he's like, I guess it's a British thing, the way they do ice cream over there. Because right here is like what? The ice cream man has a bunch of ice creams, right?
Right.
But sometimes you get lucky and it's a real ice cream man with a fucking...
With the soft serve.
Soft serve.
I've seen that.
It's hard to get those.
Never have I seen ice cream trucks like that until I moved to LA. Huh? No, even
when you were little?
Even when I was little.
Shut the fuck up!
Yeah, no, we just had the guy that handed out bars, and then he had candy in the back, shit like that.
No fucking way.
When I was in Boyle Heights, and this truck is going down the street, and it's like ice cream truck, and I stopped the guy because I wanted a treat, and I was expecting to get like a Ninja Turtle with the gum eyeball in it, the fucking little retarded Ninja Turtle looking ones. He didn't have none of that. He had soft serve. It was amazing, bro. It was the creamiest ice cream I'd ever had, bro.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, bro. If you want the best, I'm not even fucking lying, dude. You gotta drive around. You gotta drive around the hood in LA because they have people. There's a guy like the Good Humor guy from back in the 50s, dude, who fucking serves these out of a truck. It's fucking amazing. It was one of the best, tasting things ever, dude.
Let me tell you, man, if you're sitting in your house and you start hearing the most saddest song ever, it's the Ice Cream Man.
It's the Ice Cream Man.
You be sitting depressed and shit already, then you hear...
Yeah, look at that motherfucker.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. And if you're sad, you know, oh, fuck. They got playing feelings. Feelings. Nothing more than feelings. For real, bro, sometimes.
It is, dude, it really is.
Or sometimes you're just sitting there and it's fucking. You go, wait a minute, this was another sad song.
Right.
But the actual original Ice Cream Truck song is a very racist song.
Is it?
Yeah.
The one in my neighborhood growing up was. That's
the one.
Yeah. That is racist.
Catch a Mexican by the toe. Catch a thing?
Yes. Yes. Catch an Edward by the toe is the last lyric of that song. Yes. That's crazy. Any, meeny, miny, mo ends with not a tiger. I grew up, it was a tiger by the toe. And then when I heard an old person say it, they said the N-word, bro. Yeah.
Well, anyways, the British guy, him and his daughter and his wife, they go, they just pull up anywhere, bro. And what do you want, mate? Can I have blah, 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 bro? And so he puts up 3 scoops. And he smashes cookies, what he does. He smashes like those biscuits they give you in the airplane, the flat ones.
Yes, the Biscoffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then he has that.
Oh my God.
Bro,
so
broken
good.
like powdery.
That's
and
so
good. He dips it on it.
Where is this?
And then the other one is Oreos. He put Oreos. And then the other one is like chocolate chips. There's fucking powder.
Who's going for ice cream after this?
And then he has butterscotch flavor syrup.
Right.
So he put the yellow shit on the biscuit.
Fuck out of
Then he
here,
has black. He has chocolate, white chocolate syrup.
Yeah.
Puts it on the Oreos.
Kiss my dad.
And strawberry. Then he has another one where he has smashed up blue nerds and red nerds.
Get the fuck out of here.
Then he puts the powdery nerds and the red one. Then he has red and white syrup. Crazy dog.
Someone's taking insulin tonight. That's
and then he does the tiramisu one too. Tiramisu.
Yeah.
But he actually gets those actually little breads already soaked in coffee, have them ready.
Yes.
And he puts the ice cream on it, and then he sprinkles.
Where's this guy at?
In London, bro.
Get the fuck out of here. We're going to London right now.
We're going to London.
But 2 tickets.
2 tickets. They made
3. Fuck it, Ray. You're coming along, bro. I don't care if you have diabetes.
So that little girl, I think she was walking away from his ice cream truck, bro, because it's kind of expensive.
Yeah,
that little girl that says $2 for 2 ice cream for $9, 9 squids. He gonna get over that shit.
Yeah. That's where you stopped me in my tracks.
Those 2 little girls that were complaining about the ice cream man. I think they were complaining about his ice cream truck.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's expensive ice cream then at the end of the day. I don't want that.
Have you seen this truck, bro, where a bunch of pigs show up with buckets and they go, give me chicken, give me this, give me that, and they walk away?
No.
Well, this is truck, bro.
It's like an AI thing or something?
No, it's a truck, bro. And you show up there with your bag of chips and you could add meat, chicken, and stuff, and they make you a big plate.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dog. They had like the tahini sauce and all that. Pickles.
Well, you're vegan, but you would have loved this back when you weren't. So when we were in Humboldt, I wanted to take everybody to this place. There's a place I can't remember the name of this. It's probably the only restaurant in this town. And when I was there one time visiting, they have this festival called Savage Henry. And the group that put it on, the owner was like, you guys want to go have a meat cone? And I was like, what the fuck is a meat cone? And
it's be nasty, right?
Bro, this is the best.
A trick my uncle
did.
This
is one of the best things I've ever had. It was in Trinidad, California. It's a little town. It's a little fucking kiosk in front of the grocery store there. And it's a rosary, rosary cornbread? Rosary, like the rose, has what's that shit called? Anyway, it's fucking it's cornbread with like thyme in it or something, like some sort of like like savory flavor with fucking mashed potatoes, and then yes, that's it right there,
Man.
bro. It's rosemary, cornbread, fucking cone with like corned beef and gravy, and cheese and potatoes, and they're called meat cones, and and that's the place that it's served at.
Wow.
Bro, I swear it's one of the best things I've ever had in my entire life, bro. It is amazing. It is like to this day. If you were like, "What do you want for your birthday?" Fly me to fucking Trinidad and let's get a fucking meat.
You know, there's a port on a Western Bay, and you know that place, and it serves 100 ships a day.
No, what is that?
Yeah, man, and the only sailors pass the time away and talk about their homes. And there's a girl that works there, and she works in this harbor town, and she works laying whiskey down. You never heard of it?
No.
And they say, Brandy, fetch another round. She serves them whiskey and wine.
What is this?
And the sailors say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. You're a fine girl. What a good wife you will be.
You're so stupid. I knew you were up to something. I was like, this is either going to be like a tidbit of history that's going to be wild, or it's going to be...
I ran into that singer, bro.
The guy who sings that? Who sings that?
His name was Elliot Laurie. He's from that group Looking Glass.
Is that like a one-hit kind of wonder thing? That's straight up Rodrigo, bro. Holy fuck, that's Rodrigo.
And there's a poet on a western town, and she serves her whiskey down, and the sailors.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
All right, check it out, bro. Look, put it up.
Oh, shit.
And the flavors
So that's Jay Lamont. That's Elliot Laurie, and they're singing the
What a
song.
God, why here it be? Just the love, all that from my lady. It's a sea.
Yeah, man.
That was fucking dope.
It's how
tight
That's
up.
the guy who originally sang that song.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
you
that-
meet
and that guy,
cool-ass people in the airport.
That guy was dragged out of his truck during the LA riots.
This is how we rope it back to the subject at History for Fools.
In Los Angeles in 1992, all hell broke loose.
All hell broke loose.
That's when Mexican Americans were really pissed off that the police beat up Rodney Dangerfield.
Welcome to History for Fools, where we're not.
Welcome to
entirely-
History for Fools.
We're not entirely accurate.
The streets are on fire.
It's bedlam. It's crazy. Actually, dude, that's the thing, is that's what triggered this subject.
Pandemonium got wild.
Is that
Or my dad says, un desmadre. By the
Every-
way, I was in rehab when this happened.
I was gonna say,
Fresh out of rehab.
did you go to the riots at all, or did you stay away?
Bro, I was a year out of, I was the whole year before the riots, I was in rehab
Okay.
for crack and substance abuse. So when I came out, I had a clear head already.
Okay.
A real clear head.
Like you were like being a good citizen.
Yes, without even thinking about it.
Right.
I was like Christian 101, bro.
Oh,
Like I was the
boy.
kind of guy that like, if you were to check out a chick and go, that chick is fine, bro. She has big ass titties. I would look at you and say, and now what?
Right. Yeah, you're in that phase of your recovery.
Now what?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Not well. You said she has big ass titties. Where you gonna go from here?
Oh man. Yeah.
And then I'd be telling you stuff. And you go, what do you mean? Well, are you gonna go talk to her and ask her if she has big titties? Are you gonna try to get to know her? Maybe one day fuck them. He goes, nah. So you just wasted your words.
Right. You're
Wasted air.
Yeah.
You know that, and then now look at you. Now you're gonna be thinking about it,
Right.
brother.
Yeah.
You're gonna be thinking about her big tits, and this thinking about it is gonna affect you to the whole day now. You needed to look up
This poor guy's like, I should have said shit.
exactly,
I should have
bro.
kept my
I was that
fucking-
guy. So yes, your answer.
A real ball of fun.
Yeah, Bill Ball of fun, bro.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so you definitely were like, I'm not going. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris. I had a year and 2 months with no sex too, and I was focused,
Oh my.
sober,
Dude,
and
your
every
brain was
morning I would
clear.
get up at 6, and I would read go to an AA meeting.
Okay. I mean, dude, you're kind of still like you smoke weed and everything, but you get up pretty early, and you kind of have a regimen like that anyway. You just
Yeah. So I was in rehab at a Narcotics Anonymous meeting the night before the trial.
okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that was going to happen? You were a little older than me because I was 13 when it happened, so I really honestly didn't even know. Like, I didn't know what to expect at all. I know I was just as glued as everybody else was.
Did you know about the Rodney King beating already?
Yes, that's
Like, it was all over the place.
So usually when something happens, people are like, "Well, I really wasn't aware." Like when OJ happened, I didn't really know what happened until the chase.
Bro, George Lopez was a comedian at the time.
Because I didn't give a fuck, but yeah, but everybody, because it was like, whoa,
Yeah.
these cops. It's the first time we've seen something like this on camera.
But I want to tell you that George Lopez had a funny joke about that the first time he saw this on camera, because everybody was doing bits about the. Also, 2 years later, I started doing stand up.
Right.
A year later, I started doing
no
stand up.
Shit, 93.
So I was already watching stand up already during the riots.
Okay.
And I remember George Lopez was on Arsenio and had the funniest riot show, bro. The funniest riot
I
show.
remember this.
He said that he goes, my uncle here, he was beat up by the LAPD too, man, and we had it on tape. But my aunt, she recorded Night Rider already.
That's actually that's funny because it's accurate.
Accurate, bro. I remember watching that shit going dying, bro.
My mom recorded over one of my plays when I was a kid, and she was like, "We saw it already last year." I was like, "Wait, what happened to my play?" And she goes, "We saw it last year." And then we watched the tape right after. And then
Bro, yeah, well, I'm surprised that you must have something happened to you along the way where a woman did show you love, because that would make me a serial killer, bro.
It made me a comic. That's what it did. My mother's abuse made me a comedian. There's actually a side by side.
You know what, bro? When that happens in your life, your mom throwing away your play, recording over it.
Right.
Anyway, bro, but in her defense, you were a lobster on a Christmas show, bro. And she probably going, "What do lobster got to do with anything?" So everybody's a regular person. You a lobster.
Why? Why were you a lobster?
Well, you're a lobster.
Why did the
Commodore.
teacher want you to be a lobster?
Because that day you had bugs in your hair.
My mom's the kind of mom that would be like, "Mijo, you didn't even have any lines."
Yeah.
That's how she would have been.
I'm the kind of lady that also, man, will be like, your son shows leadership skills. Yes, him and his friends are always going places and breaking stuff.
Yeah, mine was a big fan of me too. Oh man.
Yeah, man. So I was during the riots. I was in a Narcotics Anonymous meeting, and we saw the beating happen on television live, right?
Right.
And people in my neighborhood, they went in vans, bro, to go riot over there in South Central too.
In South Central.
They were doing hey, you want to go loot? And people were getting out of the truck, and they were going to loot.
When you saw this video for the first time, though, because this doesn't take place in like LA proper, right? This takes place.
When I saw that video, I thought it was just normal, that's what happens.
You were like, "Oh, this is gonna be crazy." When when
that happened to him, I saw it like they beat him. I only saw it. I didn't see it like police brutality, because I don't think police brutality was a word then. And also, people were getting beat up like this all the time, bro. So I saw this was just normal.
See, this is the thing too, bro. Is like
You saw police brutality and
absolutely everywhere.
because
Everywhere.
at this time, bro,
Right.
police were walking up to you and giving you baseball cards of LAPD
Right.
of Dodgers, so that just to get to know you and the cops could see who the rats.
That's exactly. And cops are. So I was 13, 12 when this happened, 13 when the riots happened. But very soon after, I was 15 years old and I was getting pulled up. Like, that's the thing is, like, people don't really remember. And because, you know, we talk about police brutality now and
To that
shit.
car, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck. And they'll leave. Bro, that guy didn't even do nothing, dude.
Yeah.
He's out of there. Bro, this is the thing is, like, I got jammed up by the cops all the time. Do you remember for years before cameras on cops, even years after this came out, cops were harassing people.
Bro, my uncle got beat up like that.
I mean, they still are, but not like they used to, dude.
My uncle got beat up like that by the cops, and it was different, bro. The candy was coming out of him, bro. And we were trying to grab them.
It's like a piñata.
He was a piñata, Holmes.
So, see, that's the thing is, like, I just remember that's the first time I'd see. I knew that was happening, but it was the first time it was on camera. And I was like, oh, these guys are fucked. I was like, this is an open and shut case. This is going to go to trial right away. They're going to, because as soon as it happened, so for the history part of this,
He was on PCP.
him and his buddies were drinking, doing PCP. They decided to go get more liquor. And they went to one place and it was limited on what they wanted, so they went to go to another place, and that's when they got pulled over. And they got pulled over by a guy, and then a guy named, they got pulled over in this little small like suburb like here in the valley.
In Silmar, Lakeview Terrace. And let me tell you, I've been to that place. There ain't no lake.
There ain't no Lakeview Terrace. How far? Where's Lakeview Terrace in terms of Los Angeles?
By my house.
It's in the valley.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the thing is, like, I'm new here, and the valley and LA, what you would think LA is on TV are two different fucking worlds. And so for you to look out your window in the valley and see cops beating on some fucking guy, that's crazy.
Oh, that guy randomly recorded it, huh?
Yeah, he saw it. He saw it outside his front, and he turned off the porch light. A guy named George Holiday, and he comes out of his house and he starts filming it.
People don't talk about this, bro, but his video had a lot of porn too. Right before we have to fast forward to the.
Get the fuck out of
Nah, I
here!
made that up.
You never know here on this.
And he was afraid because because he saw the FBI thing.
So
Hey,
you know,
you ever watch a video or DVD and it has the FBI copyright?
right?
Does that ever scare you?
My dad always respected it. My uncle, fuck no. My uncle had every tape with the FBI recording at the beginning too.
My dad was so scared of that shit.
Yeah, same.
We
right?
couldn't invite people to watch the movie because they said don't invite people
Are you serious?
or play it publicly.
Yeah, dude. This is for you and you alone. They did fucking really try to scare you with that shit. But my uncle was a San Jose police officer, and he recorded every video he ever like rented.
Crazy.
So that after that guy filmed it, he didn't send it to the PD. He didn't send it to any government official. I think he sold it to like CBS or ABC. And so that's where we all first saw it, was on TV.
How much you sold it for?
I think it was like $500, something like that. Some super stupid small amount of money.
He would have made more money on TikTok, bro, sharing that shit.
I don't think this guy knew what he was getting into when he sold this tape. I don't think anybody knew what was going to happen when this tape came out.
So he was in his house with a camera and just turned it around?
Yeah, he just started filming it on these cops. And of course, because cops at the time were oblivious to the fact that citizens were able to like stick up for themselves or know rights, because I know that I didn't know my rights for years. He just filmed them and they fucking were having a time of their lives just beating the fuck out of this guy. And
one of the cops was a Mexican.
so yes, one of them, Officer
Batista.
Briseño. So that's the other thing is there was also a police.
It was
chase.
Briseño, Sergeant Stacy Kuhn.
Yes, that's great. Stacy Kuhn, Theodore Briseño, Timothy Wynn, and Lawrence Powell were the initial officers who chased him down. He was chased. Fucking the car broke down, and that's why Rodney King finally pulled over. And that's not, I'm just giving the facts here because, there's probably going to be someone out there that's like, yeah, but he was resisting already by getting chased and everything. No, the cops pulled this fucking guy out. They fucking hit him with 56 blows.
56? How old was he? Was it his birthday?
He was 25 years old.
Okay.
They hit him 56 times. They kicked him 7 times and tased him twice. And at the time, tasers were new. And there's a quote when Rodney King, when they interview him, you could tell they were having a good time with it. And they're like, what do you mean? They were like, it was like they were playing with a new toy and they were all taking turns tasing him. And so the taser was new and they were trying to see the effects on it. He had to get cosmetic surgery on his right eye because his eyeball had fallen out. He suffered brain damage, which delayed his speech. They fucked him up, bro. They sent this guy to the hospital and they left him for dead. Just like the homie in the last, when we did Chicano Squad, they threw that motherfucker in the river. That's kind of what they were.
Rodney.
Yeah, they checked him into the hospital and they filed a false police report on him.
What'd they say?
It said that he'd already had the injuries.
He fell from a flight of stairs.
He had the injuries when they pulled him over. He was already like fucked up a little bit. And so they fucked him up. And then he resisted. And the cops were like, look, for his own safety, we kept having to beat him because he wouldn't just like chill out.
And they were beating him and all the good parts, like the elbow, ankles.
They were hitting joints.
Okay.
There's one part in the video where you see the cop stop. The other one, you go, oh, fuck, someone's going to step in and do something. He puts his hand out. He pushes the other cop off. And then he starts beating him like, let me have my fucking turn. Yeah, this video is actually one of the worst versions of it, but there's some clear ones. If you watch, there's a documentary called LA 92, and it shows a really cleared up, like mastered version of this, and it gives you an idea of how much they were beating the fuck out of this guy.
What were they saying when they were beating him? There one with sound?
So there's nothing with sound because they're all like, there's like planes going over. There's too much in between, the camera and the guy beating him. But the cops had their own version of their dialogue on during the court case. And that's the thing is these guys turned on each other. But all the cops were eventually acquitted of most of the charges. But they were ratting each other out in court. Like, they were like, oh, I thought he hit him. That was the hardest I'd ever seen someone get hit. And the other one was like, I had to back him off and tell him, look, man, I think you're hitting him too hard. So we don't really know what the dialogue was because it's fucking cops that are the only ones that are telling it. And
that cop said, what? That's nothing. Let me try it.
Right. Yeah. See, that's kind of what I think was happening. Like, let me see. And I think with the taser, they were like, let me try that. Can I try it?
Black don't crack. Let's find out.
Fuck. So, yeah.
Was there a black cop there, though?
Not one black cop was there on the scene.
Just one hardcore Chicano.
Right.
Did you know that NWA, Eazy-E he backed up that Latino cop.
Oh, no shit.
Well, look it up. Eazy-E.
He backed up Briseño.
Backs up Briseño.
So the thing that really got to everybody during this whole thing was because Mayor Bradley, first black mayor of Los Angeles ever, had gotten a hold of the transcripts right after. And like they were talking about how like, there's one cop that references like dealing with the gorillas in the mist. There's a lot of like really, really racist.
There it is. In 1993, Eazy-E, prominent figure in the rap group NWA, publicly supported Theodore J. Briseño, one of the Los Angeles police officers.
Why?
Involved in the Rodney King.
Why?
Eazy-E attended the trial and stated that he believed Briseño was trying to stop the other officers from excessive force, even though Briseño was also stomping on King.
Yeah, Briseño's the one. He's the one who put his foot on his neck.
But he was like holding him down, bro, keep everybody out.
He's all because if he kept getting up, I was holding my foot on his neck because when he kept getting up, is when they kept beating him, which is true. That is true. I don't know if he was putting his foot on his neck to save him, but every time Rodney King even moved, they fucking hit him. I watched that fucking tape at least 20 times just so I could like memorize the movements and count accurately. I was trying to get an accurate count of if they really hit him that many times or more. And that was the thing. 56 blows, dude, to the face. that's the other thing is that they were like, there was a woman that was there and she didn't get convicted and didn't get tried. And she said she kept saying, don't hit him in the face. Don't hit him in the face. And so, and they were hitting him and you're not allowed to. It's against LAPD regulation to hit him in the face. And one of the cops was like, I had two decisions to make. The guy who shows up, Stacy Coons is like, he was like, I could put him in a chokehold, which is against LAPD regulations, or I could beat him until he stopped. And he was like, I feel like I saved his life by beating him until he stopped. And it's like, bro, this is the rationale of these guys. So, this happens, and right away, like they're all over it, dude. The news is all over it. Everybody's all over it. Mayor Tom Bradley, who's the first black mayor of Los Angeles, is all over it. And they're right away, they bring in fucking the most famous police chief of all times, Daryl Gates, who was a personal bodyguard and chauffeur to Parker.
Also, Chief Daryl Gates' first commanding officer, like the guy that led him on, like
look at this piece
of
shit.
with a Chicano.
No, dude.
Yeah.
LA cops are kind of like.
Yeah, well, LAPD. When LAPD when he was a rookie, his commanding officer was Mexican.
What the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah, LAPD.
This guy's like, he's a outright racist, dude. They go. So there's a conference that I watched where he tells the mayor and city council, look, you guys need to protect the PD right now. This is after this beating happens. Because you guys need to speak up for us, because right now public's against us, and if you don't speak up against us, you got a department that might not work for you anymore. And this guy goes, one of the city council members goes, are you threatening us if we criticize the Los Angeles Police Department? He goes, sir, I'm insulted that you would say that. We're a professional department. But he had just literally said, we're not going to protect you if you go after our cops.
Chief Daryl, I read Chief Daryl Gates' book.
How'd you like it?
It was good.
Was it really good?
Yeah. That's how I know that the guy that was fucking
his first lieutenant.
Yeah, bro. He had what's his name? Chief Daryl Gates he was involved in a case inside of the LA Municipal Court, bro. There were these two guys that they were there for bad shit, bro.
Right.
And they got a hold of a shotgun, bro. And they fucking taped it up to the chick's neck.
Oh, okay.
And those fools were crazy. They raped somebody. He said that he can smell
ugh.
poop.
Oh my God, bro.
You can smell everything that you will smell if you're having hardcore sex.
Right.
And he can smell shit too. That's how bad it was, bro.
That's disgusting, dude.
And then fucking Chief Daryl Gates, I don't know. He ended up killing them or somebody with him. They got the guy in the bottom, but there were those two crazy motherfuckers, bro.
No fucking way.
Yeah, and in the book, there's another scene where there were these dirty ass cops, bro, from Hollywood department.
Okay.
There was a lot of break-ins, right?
Right.
And in Hollywood, right? Video store break-ins, right?
Okay.
They don't know what.
Right.
So these fucking cops with BB guns from far away, they were shooting the window, bro, and the alarm was going off.
Is that what it was?
And then they would wait, then go in there and ransack the whole place.
The cops would?
Yeah, they'll go to the alarm.
Motherfuckers.
And they would check everything, dude. And then, these cops, they were picking up prostitutes from Hollywood and taking them to Griffith Park to tear them up.
No shit.
They had a little cop whore party.
And this was all in Daryl Gates' book.
Yeah.
Wow.
He arrested all these cops, all these dirty cops.
Okay. But so what does it make you think, like, because do you like the book? Did it make you like Daryl Gates, or did it make you, like, still, like, were you like, he's still kind of dirty?
Well, I don't know about he didn't mention the dirty part, but he did mention that he drove Parker, chief of police, and he was always drunk.
And Parker was
always
always
drunk.
ripped. Oh, so he talks, because that's the thing is that.
Yeah, Chief Parker was always loaded.
People are basically, the accusation during this time, during the Rodney King riots, is that.
Yeah, he wrote this book after the riots.
He's basically Parker Jr. He's like a junior version of Parker.
Bro, no, man. Every position that Chief Daryl Gates got was because he moved up and studied. He didn't know anybody.
Okay.
Like they're taking a test for sergeants. Nobody applies. That Latino cop tells him, "You're gonna apply for that shit. They're gonna give it to you." So he goes studies every day, bro. Goes to night school. Goes to community college.
Right.
And starts learning that shit.
Okay.
And he moves up ahead.
Okay.
Then there's another test to be the chief's driver. Pussy ass job. I don't want to do that. I'll apply. He'll apply for it.
He got it.
And then he was a chief. He was Martin Luther King's bodyguard when Martin Luther King was doing speeches.
Daryl Gates was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Him and his partner. And let me say that he said in his book too that all he did was protect him from all the hoes.
Okay.
Because he had different women coming in and out.
Wow.
And Chief Daryl Gates' son was the biggest drug addict ever that lived.
Really?
And Chief Dick Gates was his idea was they proposed him was to lock up all drug dealers and make them do their full time.
Right. Yeah.
To lock up the bankers who money launder for drug dealers and give them exactly the same amount of time as a drug dealer.
Okay.
And he wanted also casual users to get full sentencing as a regular drug addict.
Wow.
Because if a casual user was what got his son hooked on drugs.
Oh, I see. So we're blaming everybody else except for the actual person who did it. See, that's the thing at the time is like this to me, like going over this was like the whole thing is fucking corrupt. Because like you got these cops that get in trouble and the whole country's asking for justice at this point. And and just to give you an idea of how the laws were against
also he said the cops always took free shit from everywhere, bro.
Yeah, of course.
And then he said that I was always against that.
Right.
And he never took free shit from anywhere except Tommy's.
I feel like if I write a book, I'm gonna write it making me look good.
Of course.
But the thing that happens is that
they're bad. I'm not.
Exactly. I was just trying to do my job, man. Well, and here's the corruption part of this that is wild to me. So this is during the crack epidemic, and at the time, and just to give you how, in my view, how racist laws were back then, if you got caught with 1 gram of crack cocaine, you got 5 years. You got 5 years for each gram of crack cocaine that you were caught with. If you got caught with 500 grams of cocaine powder, 5 years. So that gives you an idea of how like kind of racist the laws are, because no black people in black neighborhoods are doing powder cocaine. They're all doing crack cocaine.
Bro, it's kind of like the law like this. Put it this way. Let's compare crack right now to another charge. Now, it's making sense to me now. Why would they put that law into effect?
Right.
If you get caught with a pound of weed, okay, already a pound of weed in the bag, you're going to do less time than somebody who gets caught with 50 grams in little baggies.
Yes.
And I think that's the way crack is, too.
Yeah.
Because they know if you have one piece of crack, you're going to sell it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, which is true. And
also people that get caught with one big block of crack were probably doing less time than anybody was caught with 50,
No,
20s.
it was like straight across the board.
Oh, really?
If you were caught with because it wasn't about sales, it was that they were trying to get rid of crack. Because remember the crackdown on crack?
Yeah.
The law had changed during that time where it was like any amount, no matter what. Fuck sales. If you got 1 gram, it doesn't matter. It was by the gram. So if you had a brick of 5 grams on you and it was personal, you were going to get fucking 25 years for that.
Wow, that's like, so it's crazy, man, because powder was hard to get also, man, if you wanted it.
Right.
Nobody was selling 20 in sniffs.
Nobody was, right?
Or 8 balls.
So that's the thing, and that's why it was like so corrupt. So this fucking whole thing happens, right? And they go, okay, well, we're gonna take these guys to trial.
Who put that law into effect?
So
a Democrat.
when they
Bill Clinton, right?
Bill Clinton put that law
Yeah.
into effect.
3 strikes you're out.
Yeah. So what happens is that, listen, bro, all the things, think of all the trials before.
You know what? It's funny, bro. Like Democrats are really tough on crime, but if you're but you're not Democrat, you would never admit to that, even though it is, because it doesn't fit your narrative.
No, it does not.
Because the battle ram came around during a Democrat.
Right. Militarization of police came with Clinton. That's the thing that people like, and they go, like, yeah, Obama did deport way more people, but he didn't do it humiliatingly, and that's the difference, dude. Is
He
like,
he don't like.
but they were just as tough.
It all
as crime.
depends on the president. The president Obama was not narcissistic. Like he didn't want to show off.
He didn't give a fuck.
He didn't want to show off. He know that he'll lose followers.
Right.
If he's over there deporting the people that voted for him.
There's one speech where someone calls him out for it. And he actually goes, because the crowd's trying to kick the guy out, and Obama stops him. And he goes, he goes, let him speak. Go ahead. He goes, I'm going to tell you right now what's going to happen. He goes, if you don't like what's happening, you can fight it. He's like, you can fight it by going and voting against us. You can fight it. And I was like, man, this dude's fucking rad, bro. That he was like, he let that guy speak against him, and then he told him how he could beat him. And it's like, we don't have that anymore. But that's another fucking episode. Because we're going to talk about these corrupt-ass cops and what happens after this. So they set a trial, okay? There's been tons of notorious trials because this is Los Angeles and we have a Hollywood. And fuck notoriety, we're having the trial here in L.A. This particular case, all of a sudden, the cops and the DA are worried that there's too much press for it, so we're not going to have it in L.A. We're going to move it to another county.
Silmar.
They move it to fucking, where do all the cops live? Simi Valley. So they move it to the East County Courthouse in
It's
Simi
funny,
Valley.
it didn't even happen there.
It didn't happen there. But what's even crazier is that Simi Valley is where 80% of the police force at the time, and probably still or more, live in Simi Valley. So it's basically cop land for Los Angeles. So let's move this fucking high-profile police officer abuse case to a county full of police officers where the jury is all, except for 2 people, is white, except for one half black, half white woman and one Asian person. And then 3 of the people on the jury are retired law enforcement people. So how do you think this is going to go? You know what I mean? And then here we have now the day of the verdict. Were you aware of the day of the verdict at all?
Yeah.
And did you think that it was going to be guilty or not guilty?
I didn't.
Were you like, these cops are going to get off? Was what was the feeling before this happened? Were people like, no, it's so corrupt that they're going to get off? Or no, dude, this is the first time that it's actually going to happen where cops get in trouble?
I wasn't thinking.
You weren't even. You weren't like.
I thought they were, I didn't know. I was too like not smart enough to know that cop would go to jail.
Right. Did you think there was going to be riots? Were you that?
Hell no.
No. So see, I didn't think so either. And I wonder how many people actually expected it to be an acquittal and were like, this is going to be crazy. And this is where I get to
Did the riot start like immediately or just pockets?
as soon as.
But people don't don't mention that there was multiple riots all over America.
Multiple riots.
In Atlanta, Georgia, Philadelphia,
San Francisco,
Seattle.
Oakland, Seattle.
No, they started their own thing.
Yes. But originally the one that started, there's a couple that started in LA. There was one that started in front of Parker Center. There was one that started almost immediately at the courthouse. Someone was throwing rocks at Kuhn's car as he was driving off. But the one that we focus on and watch the most is, and again, bro,
Florence and Normandy.
Yes. And this is why I want to bring this up, because this is why I like the subject. When you asked me, you're like, what do you think we should do? And I was like, the riots that just happened in LA, I think we should talk about these riots. And I knew that the Rodney King riots were way worse than the riots we just had. And we had the fucking National Guard come out like for no reason. Dude, I didn't realize how, I remember watching this on TV, but I forgot, is what I'm trying to say, how crazy these riots were. Bro, people fucking died in these riots. You know how many people died in these riots? 36 people. Wait, where is it? Where's my notes for this?
How many?
Bro.
Look at
63 deaths. There's 63 deaths, 2,383 injuries, over $1 billion in property damage, 16,291 arrests, 1,100 buildings destroyed, 3,600 fires were set. Approximately 2,000 Korean-owned businesses were affected. 700 businesses besides those were affected as well. Like, bro, these riots were crazy, bro. When we talk about riots, that was a real riot. The LA 92 Rodney King riots were probably one of the worst riots we'd ever seen in the United
States. Tell you something, man?
Yeah.
I was working, I forgot, I just remember right now that I was working 12 hours a day as a security guard on the retrial.
No way, really?
Remember that they were
yeah,
trying
they
to
retried yeah.
And that one, no riots, right?
Right.
But they were ready.
They were ready.
I forgot that I was working security guard, bro. I was just walking around, but I was working at Century Electric. Century Electric is an electric store. Century Electric. It's right there on Central. In South Central.
In South Central.
It's been there forever. It's
By where I live.
It's a Mexican-owned place. It's called Century Electric.
What streets is it on? It's on
the same street as the courthouse.
Okay.
It's right under the freeway, right there. Century Electric, and they saw televisions. They probably saw computers.
I
now.
think I know what you're talking about.
They've been around forever, right? So they hired gunmen, bro. They hired security, bro, that were like almost like fucking fortunes of war, that hired killers.
Right. Yeah.
These guys were
soldiers of fortune. Yeah.
Soldiers of fortune, motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah.
So these guys were all posted up, bro, with M16s, and there was a black dude, bro, with a bulletproof vest. He had a 45. He had an M16.
Wow.
They were all posted up, bro, 24 hours a day, and I was there for 12 hours a day. And I was hanging out with those guys. They were getting paid back then. I think $75 an hour.
That's a ton for that time.
Yeah,
like that's a fuck ton for that time.
And they were shooting motherfuckers too, bro.
That's on Normandy and Florence right there.
Who's that?
That's Reginald Denny.
That's funny, man. Reginald Denny and Rodney King.
I actually did a whole thing on Reginald Denny. He was pulled from his truck on Florence and Normandy by Damian Williams, who got 10 years for hitting him with a brick. Henry Watson, who got 3 years, and Antoine Miller and Gary Williams, who got 3 years as well. They fractured. So when he hit him with that fucking rock, when Williams hit him with that fucking cinder block, it fractured his skull in 91 places. And his fucking eye socket had fallen through into his head and was inside his nasal cavity. In that picture right there. I mean, he's laying.
Someone recording from a helicopter, huh?
Yeah, this was recorded from a helicopter. And then, and that's the thing is that you were just about to make a comparison to Rodney King and Reginald Denny. That at the end of that, Watson stood on Reginald Denny's neck as well. And then Reginald Denny was rescued by 4 African American people from the neighborhood, where they jumped in they saw it on TV. They jumped in his truck. And they got him to the hospital down the street. There was a whole rescue effort for that guy. He fucking survived that shit.
You were in that truck, you would have stopped?
No. I'll be honest, bro. I would have kept going. I would have run over people, dude.
You don't know what's going on, though. He didn't know what's going on.
He didn't know what was going on. Him, because, there was
Was
another
there
guy.
a stoplight? They were just hitting random cars with rocks, huh?
Right. There was another guy that didn't know that. The reason why Reginald Denny had to stop, because there was a truck in front of him that they showed another video that the guy that hit him with the cinder block was involved in as well. They beat the fuck out of that guy. And then somebody ended up stopping him, and that guy got pretty bad, serious injuries as well.
They're only beating up people that were not black, huh?
Yeah, you hear him in one of the videos where they're like black, Mexican, Buddha heads, or white, Mexican, and Buddha heads. And they're like, those are the only people that are not allowed through. And so anybody that was driving through, and again, bro, so just to give younger people reference, there's no fucking, look at that that big old cement fire thing. Boom, hits him in the head with it. So just to give you guys a reference, there's no, the only thing that you could know that this was happening is if you were at home watching it on CNN or listening to AM radio. Those are the only two ways that you knew that this was happening. So you're a white person who has to drive home from wherever through fucking...
You're a white ice cream man with that racist-ass song driving by.
Yeah, you're coming home through South Central.
Also, man, there's a footage, I don't know if it's out there, about a Mexican guy that was jumped. Or a Latino guy with curly hair.
The guy they sprayed with spray paint.
They spray painted his genitals black. And because they jumped they're about to jump him. Oh, he black, man. No, he ain't. And then they spray painted his genitals, bro, and his face. And they took his truck, and this old black man saved him. And and right away, man, and that was the beginning of the race wars between Mexicans and blacks as far as gangbanging goes.
Is that really where it came from? Was that?
Yeah, I read a book that
people were greenlit.
I read a book that there was a green light on Damon Williams from somebody from prison.
Holy fuck, bro! Like fucking mafia.
And then it was crazy, bro. There it is, right there. Guatemalan immigrant Fidel Lopez, bro,
was severely beaten and spray painted black. That's the thing, dude. Is that there were injuries? There were like serious injuries. There were people getting like I was watching like cars being pushed into the street. For me, I was 13, dog. I didn't know that. I was saying this earlier before that we started the podcast, but I didn't know that was a possibility still. Like I'd heard about riots when I was younger. I thought the Watts riots probably happened in like the fucking 1800s. Like I don't know what I was thinking.
There's Fidel Lopez, bro.
Oh man, they get that guy, bro.
They bring a bottle over him too.
Oh, they got a big old 40 bottle. Wow, they're hitting it for the people that are listening. They're just beating on this fucking poor guy.
I remember in my neighborhood. Boy. In my neighborhood, they jumped two black dudes, bro. All the Mexicans after watching this video, they were just playing basketball, bro. They went inside that gym and started fucking them up.
Wow. And that's the thing is, okay, so in your neighborhood, none of this is going on. There's no rioting. There's no fucking...
Hell no.
Bedlam. This is like...
Everybody from my neighborhood went to those neighborhoods to steal.
So that's the other thing that people need to understand is that the South Central LA and East LA and Boyle Heights, which are two different neighborhoods, are completely... They're so far apart.
Yeah, there were looting in those factories by my house.
Right.
But they were in downtown.
Okay.
Ramsacked. Also, man, right there in La Mirada Locos neighborhood, in that area on Santa Monica Boulevard and what's that fucking big street called? Vermont. Santa Monica, Vermont. Okay. Forget about it, bro. Pico Union, all looted.
Wow.
There was a chain of stereo stores called Silo.
Yeah.
Silo.
Okay.
They got hit so hard.
Okay.
Oh, so hard, bro.
Wow.
And a lot of people don't know, never talk about this, but after the riots, a lot of DJs came out everywhere.
Yeah. No, that
and hip hop.
Right. That's not even a joke.
A lot of people. I saw a hip hop documentary where they said that, if it wasn't for the riots, I would have never had speakers.
It exploded. I mean, Sublime has a song where they sing about the riots and they're like, where do you think you're hearing this guitar that I got or whatever? And it's like, I wonder how much of that is true.
Brother, I know that one of my brothers was out there looting, bro.
Really?
2 of them, but I wasn't.
Well, I heard that like by day 3, there was no cops and people were just looting casually.
And my dad was like, not looting, but he was first in line to buy stolen shit.
Of course. Well, yeah, I mean, me too. I would be the same. I don't know if I'd go looting, but I'd definitely buy the stolen shit from the looting.
Man, people were just, some of the stores in my neighborhood, they were being protected by the neighborhood, like the little Korean store.
Right.
Someone tried to go in there, and people were like people were actually buying stuff and talking shit to them, bro, on the way out.
Yes.
That's what they were doing.
Right.
Like, give me 2 40-ounces, you stupid nip, or
wow.
like that.
Yeah.
In front of them.
And just talking shit,
Talking shit.
Because that was the
other
thing.
And in Spanish, too. Pichichino, desgraciado, puto, dame 2 cervezas.
Because this is the one thing that
it gave Mexicans the right to harass Asians, bro, in my neighborhood. And then but they were also protecting the store from being looted too.
Right.
And the people that were doing the shit talking were people that were getting kicked out of the store for trying to loot.
Well, that was the thing because that lady got shot. I'm trying to remember her name right now. I had to look it up again.
Good, but as far as like all of South Central burned, bro. And then Eric James almost went out there to sweep it up.
Latasha Harlins, that's who her name was. And I can't forget her because she was a big part of why the Rodney King riots happened. And because it was kind of I remember even when this happened.
She was shot before Rodney, right?
She was shot after the Rodney King riot.
Holding
Rodney
a broom,
King was beaten,
right?
But before the verdict had happened.
Was she swinging a broom?
No, she was buying orange juice, and it was obvious because she had money in her hand. And the lady didn't see the money in the hand, the store owner, and she was like, "You have money. You have orange juice in your fucking bag," because she had already put it in her bag. And she was like, "Bitch, I know. I'm trying to pay for it." And then the lady goes to lunge at her bag, and then Latasha pushes her off, and then that's when the Korean lady reaches under the table and puts a gun to her head, and as Latasha's turning around, shoots her in the back of the head and blows her fucking.
And everybody saw that video too, huh?
Everybody saw that video. And so that's why, because the other thing too was like, hey, black people are like, we make these people their money. They come here, they live in K-Town, which is a much better neighborhood than ours, and they fucking sell us fucking liquor and cigarettes.
You know why they sell you liquor though? You know why the Koreans are there?
Because you're buying it.
You know why they're there though? Why Koreans are in your neighborhood? Why Koreans are in my neighborhood?
Why?
Because Koreans are not allowed to have storefronts in white neighborhoods.
Right.
And Koreans we're not allowed to, like if a Korean guy lives in Irvine, right? Irvine neighborhood. He's white in all this white neighborhood. And he goes to get a loan and they ask him, what are you going to want a loan for? I want to open a Korean market. Where? Right there on Beach Boulevard. And then that guy was, no, you can't turn it down. They'll turn him down.
Right.
And he keeps going back. I want to open up a liquor store here on Beach Boulevard. No, we can't approve that loan. Then he goes, I want to open up a Korean store in on 108th and Avalon. Here's the money.
Right, go for it.
Here's the money.
Yeah.
And then he goes, okay. He set up enough money. Then he goes up there with a loan with the cash, no loan, and he goes, can I open up a liquor store on Beach Boulevard? Oh no, we already have one. Oh fuck. All right. Then he goes over there to Boyle Heights. Can I open up a liquor store on 4th and Soto? Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
So
yeah.
the Koreans, bro, they're businessmen.
Right.
They know they couldn't open. They were not allowed to. And also, black people were not given a loan fast as Asian Americans.
Right.
Mexican Americans were not given a loan as fast as Asian Americans.
Right.
And Asian Americans would sacrifice 10 years, bro, eating rice and vegetables all day long.
Just to make that money.
And a lot of Mexicans are not willing to eat beans and tortillas all day, bro. Every once in a while, want Doritos.
So what you're saying is Korean store owners were just as much a victim of racism
They're victim
as
of
the black
racism.
people who were buying from them. Yeah,
They're victim of race. They're victim of racism too, because they were not allowed. They were not allowed to put up. You think about the last time you saw an Asian store owner in a white neighborhood? Never,
bro, never.
Oh, can I open up my Korean food at my Chinese restaurant in your white neighborhood? Nah, we're gonna wait till Panda Express shows up.
Yeah.
And so the Chinese guy is killing it, bro, with his dollar food.
Right, over in the hood.
And then you go, man, they're holding out napkins because you know what? They're already selling you cheap food, and napkins are really the high cost.
You know what, bro? That's for real, dog. That is for real because I remember being a kid and being like, I would buy like a thing of noodles for like a few bucks, and it was cheap. Like now, by my house, it's $5. $5, which is not a lot of money in this economy, for a big, bro. They give you a big thing of chicken and noodles, and they have to scrunch the thing down, but they charge you $1 for extra sauce. And I remember kids getting mad or my friends being mad, and then even now, because I go to the one by my house, and this dude in front of me was like, "Man, these fucking cheap ass Asians charging me for everything," and I didn't, you know what? I just was like, "Yeah, whatever, bro. welcome to the world, homie. But I didn't realize until right now that you said that yeah, bro, they got to make that money somewhere else. Like, get your own soy sauce at home then. Go get your own fucking mustard sauce, bro. Like, fuck your...
I already put in.
Yeah.
I already put in. That's why they carefully give you the napkin with the chopstick and the soy sauce together.
Yeah, it's got
So
a
when you
rubber
hold
band
it,
around it.
you can squeeze it.
Yeah, I put in already. Put in for you. Yeah, I'm being racist, but yeah.
Yeah, man, so they were not allowed.
Yeah, okay. All right.
But then I used to always question, I was a little kid, that's fucked up. How come there's a Korean store owner in every corner in Boyle Heights?
But there's no Mexican store owners or there's no, like, black store owners.
Now there are none.
Right.
Without Korean.
But now we do. We have them.
Now we do.
But now we have them. They own their panaderias, which are...
But let me tell you, bro, even when we had a store owned by all Mexicans, motherfuckers still went to Vaughn's.
Right, yeah. And the Mexican store owners weren't any different in the way that they treated people.
And it was tougher for the Mexican owner because we'll go in there and go, you see one roach, you go tie everybody, eh?
Right, yeah. Now look at your dirty ass store, bro. I'm gonna go to
I'm not going to shop there, bro. Salvadorian guy. I want roaches. They gave me a quesadilla with all thick.
Papusa.
Bro, when I was during the riots, I didn't have no riot jokes. I was just starting.
You were just starting out as a comic, and you didn't have anything relevant to what was happening.
My only riot joke was during the retrial. I was like, man, I can't wait for this retrial, man. I've been looking at this television for years. I've been scoping out this television I want.
I got my eye. Oh, I got my eye on some products.
I got my eye on some products,
yeah,
man.
Okay.
Like on the day of the trial of the day of the when they fucking read the case, I'm gonna start pushing the TV closer to the exit.
That's good. That's actually really good.
That's my old shoplifting move, bro. You start putting all the product by the exit, and on the way out, just grab it.
That's fucking really good, actually. That's a good joke. That's good. Yeah. So I mean,
oh, it's crazy. All those police officers were never allowed to be a police officer.
After that, no.
Because I know that Sergeant Stacy Kuhn, he's like a personal driver or private security guard now for somebody.
Those guys are all still making money. It's not like their lives fell apart after that.
One thing about the LAPD is one of the biggest police academies and one of the best police academies to be in. That if you were go to the LAPD police academy, you could apply to all the police stations,
other police departments, yeah,
in the country.
That's the thing, and it is considered. I'm not a big crazy fan of cops. I have uncles that are cops, and I'm cool with them, and I'm cool with the cops that I know. I've just been harassed too many times by cops for me to be like, yeah, good for you guys. But I do know that LAPD really was stringent after that, and they do a very good job of trying to make sure that they don't get into trouble. There was so much going on at the time, and now it's like, bro, if you have bad credit, if you're a cop right now, if you're a cop and your credit goes bad, you can get fired for having bad credit because you're corruptible. Like LAPD did a lot of different things to make that. They implemented a lot of different things to make sure that this didn't happen again. And I gotta admit, bro, because I've been pulled over by San Jose cops, I've been pulled over by San Francisco cops, Oakland, I've been pulled over by everybody. I really like the way LAPD pulls people over because they're still pretty. They pulled me over one night. And my car looks like shit. It definitely looks like someone who's driving it probably has drugs on him, which at the time I did. They pulled me over, and this is how they go, is this car stolen? And I said, no, it's mine. It just looks stolen. And he goes, and I was trying to give him my license, right? And he grabbed my license, but he didn't run it. And he goes, if your car's not stolen, we're just going to let you go. And that was it. Bro, I kind of like the forwardness of that, I don't give a fuck if you think my car's stolen. I'm used to that. I don't give a fuck if you think I'm a drug dealer. I'm used to that. I don't give a fuck.
Who says yes to that question?
Right, exactly. Well, I think
they want to see if you want to get nervous for other stuff.
Right.
So if the cop asks you, if a cop asks you, is this car stolen? And he knows the car's not stolen, but he wants to know if you're gonna panic or
Oh,
something.
you think he knew that?
Of course not. That's the whole cop move, bro.
Well, because he was like,
Because he's gonna see the car's not stolen. Okay, the car's not stolen.
right.
You put up an attitude. Now I'm gonna search your car.
Ah, okay. All right.
What the fuck, man? Please,
so-
sir, step out of the car.
Yeah, see, I don't even think about that. I was
Bro,
like,
I never
cool.
been pulled over for raggedy ass cars.
Oh, I got pulled. I've been pulled over nonstop for having raggedy ass cars constantly.
And the cop will go like this. Is this car stolen? And then right there, bro, he wants to see how crazy you really are in that question. I'd be like, come on. You know, still this piece of shit, man.
Well, he said
My last car was a tow truck.
You know how he justified it in my mind, so I didn't think that because he was like, "This is the most common stolen car of all cars in the history of cars." And so in my mind, I was like, "All right, I get that." And so I just chilled and waited. And he goes, "You're good to go." And he handed me back my license, but I didn't even think about that because I'm not gonna give attitude. I'm not gonna be like, "Go fuck your mother." You know?
I had cops pull me over, bro, with a bunch of other losers in my car.
Right.
And the cop just roasted us one by one and said, "You're not gonna live to 25.
No
You're gonna
way.
make
That's
it to 20."
hilarious. Yeah.
And then they asked us like this, how cool those cops were. I think these cops were veterans because they were like older cops. Because they asked us, does anybody here have a driver's license in this car? Before even asking who has the driver. Let me see your driver's license to the driver.
Right, because he knew.
He goes, does anybody here have a driver's license? And I said, I do. I have one, but it might be expired right now. I got to renew it. You drive the car. I don't want to see you guys for the rest of the night. So
That was it.
If I see you guys walking, I see you guys hanging out all five together, I'm gonna put you guys in and just keep you in the jail for a day.
Right.
I don't want to see this car. I want to see you guys. No, we're not gonna see you. You're not gonna see us. We're on the way to Santa Monica. No, you parked this car. You gotta stay here.
Oh wow.
So we parked the car there and walked away, and then when they left, we fucking drove the car to Santa Monica.
Done that. I got pulled over and
We rented the car from a guy for $60.
Oh, you had to get it back to him.
Yeah, so it was his car. We said it's our friend's car. He go loan it to us for $60, which is all honesty.
That was real. It was real talk. Yeah.
And then I remember we parked the car in Santa Monica, and we were hollering at some Asian girls, and then their Asian boyfriend saw us. So we parked the car there. Then we went to go do our damage, walked around the pier. It was like 2 a.m. We were drinking, bro. Our 40s around the pier. There was no one but us. We're having a good time. Come back, all our windows are broken.
Oh fuck.
And somebody left a note and said, "Hey man, this guy broke your windows. Here's the license plate. There was 4 guys. They were all Asian. Here's a number you want to call us." And we went back to the neighborhood. He goes, "What happened to the windows, bro? They tried to break into the car, bro, when we're in Santa Monica. Sorry about that." And bro, in the middle of the night, we're calling up that number, going, "Hey, listen, you fucking big rat. Why you give those guys a phone number?" We're calling that number all night, bro. Different.
Bro, that's fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna break your windows next, you fucking snitcher.
There's more guys trying to do the right thing. And a bunch of fuck faces are calling him and harassing him in the middle of the night.
Do you know who that car belongs to?
That's fucking hilarious, dude. That guy never got his windows fixed.
No, man. I ended up seeing that guy at a narcotics anonymous meeting when I was going to meetings. After let him borrow a car, he just laughed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you guys catch up over the car? Fuck yeah.
He loaned the car a couple of times, man, and every time was bad. One time I crashed it, and I just woke. I don't know what happened, but I woke up with a car keys in my hand.
Is that the one you walked away from?
Yeah.
You told me about that. And it was in
And it goes,
turnout, right?
And I remember waking up with the car keys in my hand, thinking, "Oh, somebody said you're too low to drive and block me from the car."
Oh my
That's what I thought.
God, bro. Where was the car? To this day, it's still parked somewhere in the middle of an intersection.
Bro, I was always trying to be good though in my life though. I was always trying to be good. I remember that's why I like the history for Foos. That makes me go there study. I had a what are those teachers called when they come to your house?
A tutor.
I had a tutor.
Okay.
And she was a white lady with blue eyes and a Mercedes Benz. And she was like 66 years old. She would show up to my house, me and my baby mama. And she will sit with her for an hour and a half, 1 hour.
Oh, wow.
On studying about stuff.
Right.
Right? And then she will go to homework. And then we'll do it. She'll come back the next week. Then I had my friend, I told my friend Tracy, hey bro, I'm trying to get my diploma, bro, here at the house. I got a tutor that shows up every week. If I put you down, I think they'll pay her extra for another student, but you could be at my house. Fool. It got to the point where I had 4 fools.
4 homies come over.
Show up to my house, and we're studying with this lady to get a high school diploma.
That's fucking good for that lady, dude. Shout out to that lady.
Bro, fucking drive-by shooting, bro. One of the times she was there.
No way.
An ugly one.
Was it a white lady?
She never came back.
From a good neighborhood type
She never
thing?
came back.
She never came back.
She was always scared, bro.
Yeah.
So she was always scared they're going to steal her car, but we would pay a crackhead $10 to sit
and watch it.
Sit and watch it.
Fair price to pay for education.
But she would see that fucking crackhead all the time, bro. She was always scared. God bless her. She was always scared. She never came back. Then they sent me another motherfucker, bro, a regular guy. All right? And he was teaching me, and things were going great. Then one day, I never see this motherfucker again.
What happened to him?
Bro, he shows up dirty as fuck. Dirty. Like dirty hair, dirty shoes, and a bicycle. Can I borrow $20?
No way.
He's a crackhead.
Like a fucking, he turned into a crackhead.
He must have made friends with other people in the project.
Bro, you guys fucked him up.
I didn't know him like that.
You guys fucked him up, bro. He came to help you, and then like on his way back to his car, someone was all, "Hey, bro,
Somebody, not me.
You want to go on a trip, homie?" And then after that,
I didn't see that fool forever. I was about to get my GED test, and then they never come back for about 8 months.
Bro.
Then I saw him all dirty, bro, all strung out.
Fuck, dude. That lady got out. Fucking, she made it out. And that fucking other homie, dude.
I came this close to get my diploma with that lady, then this close to get it with that guy, and he never being a crackhead.
That's fucking hilarious, bro.
I had my own little school, bro. I was charging my homies $20.
No way. You were hustling people to get tutored, and you had a free tutor.
The city was paying for the tutor, and the city was paying for her for the extra kids. I don't know how much, and those fools were paying me $20 a week
to get tutored. That's fucking brilliant, dude. Always hustling.
Always
hustling.
History for fools.
History for
LA
fools.
Riots.
Thanks for watching.
I think that was Martin Lawrence, bro, who did the joke about that. Fucked up, man, what they did to Rodney Dangerfield. Because they would ask people, man. They would ask people during the riots, the reporters, "Why are you looting, sir?" "Because it's free."
Yeah, I seen that one. I saw that one. It's hilarious.
But these are ramsackings are looting, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When 100 people show up to a store
and take it for free, that's called looting. What happened this week, or what happened this last week, was just riots and a little bit of looting.
It took longer for the military to show up, bro, in Los Angeles during those riots.
During the 92 riots, yeah. It took
It was 3 days of massacre before the fucking
Yeah.
But you know what? Even the LA riots was concentrated in a certain area. Everybody else was still working, having a good time.
So it was the same thing back then as well. That it was like one area.
All South Central.
All South Central. It wasn't like...
Bro, a caravan of people from my neighborhood and people from Inglewood were on their way to Beverly Hills to start looting that place.
I was wondering why that didn't happen.
National Guard, all the police were over there already.
Fuck yeah, they were not going to
They were protecting that before everything.
Yeah.
Motherfucker made a quick U-turn, bro, and decided to loot Wilshire District instead.
Newberries and Wilshire.
Newberries.
Yeah.
You know, bro, nobody took books during the riots. A lot of conservative people. That's their big comeback, bro. When people loot, how come they don't loot books? The same reason you wouldn't loot books if fucking the Boston Red Sox would have won.
I'm not looting books, bro.
Because books,
And I
there's no
love
money in books.
I read books all the time. I'm not looting books.
There's no money in books.
There's no money in books, bro. I'm looting sneakers and fucking Pokemon.
You can't even give a
figures.
book away to somebody without them thinking, "Oh, listen, bro, you're gonna make me a flat earther."
Yes.
Or even
Yeah.
if you try to give somebody a book, they feel like you're gonna influence them. So there is your conservative person. How come they're not right? How come they never take books?
I'll be honest. I hate.
But I'll be the first motherfucker to tell you right now. If I break into somebody's house, I'm taking all the books because stupid people hide their money in books.
That is true. That is true. That is true. I'm gonna think about that next riot.
Sometimes I'm at a bookstore or a yard sale. I open those books, bro. Grandma must have died there with a fat pitty in
Have
there.
you ever found money in a book?
$2, $5.
Yeah. I found money in my mom when my mom passed. I took all her books and I found money throughout like the next 5 or 6 years, but it was like the same thing, like $5, $10 here and there.
Bro, when my baby mama's mom died, there was money all over the place.
Oh wow, she hid money everywhere.
A jacket, she left 20, she forgot about it.
Yeah.
100 here, 100 there, a bunch of change.
Wow. It works. Thank you, Mom. Thanks for your gift from heaven.
People always like to when somebody protesting something, like whether police brutality or immigration, the other side who disagree with you, they always have something like real dumb to say. Like that one. How come they don't take books? When was the last time you saw a riot, bitch, where people just took books? Why would I take books when I could just take 100 iPhones with books in it?
You're not rioting to fucking that's the thing is you're not taking things for free because they're just there. Like when people riot and take things, it's because when they're looting, it's so that they can either sell it or use it later. You know, like of course they're not gonna take books. I can't wipe my fucking baby's ass with a book.
The only reason, the only time people take books during riots is during a prison riot. So put it on your chest so you won't get fucking stabbed.
So you're gonna get fucking beat.
So next time somebody says, "How come you don't take no books during the riots?" I do take books during riots, bitch. Prison riots.
Prison riots.
I get a big ass yellow pages on my ass. It's gonna get serious.
That works.
Like I don't understand. Like when people start looting supermarkets, bro.
That's the first place I would go is a supermarket. The pharmacy.
There's a video of people looting a liquor store, and everybody walking out, bro, all happy with two champagnes.
Yeah, fucking 12 packs.
And when there was people looting, bro, you see people pushing a whole Xerox copy machine, bro, that they jacked from fucking Circus City.
From Circus City, dude. I mean, those were worth a lot.
They took Circus City right there, bro, by where? On Silver Lake area. They fucking took everything, bro. Silver Lake area right there by all of Silver Lake was looted, by the way.
During the last riots or during the 92
riots? LA riots.
The 92.
Yeah, anything where anybody who lived in Silver Lake, if they shopped at an appliance store, that appliance store was fucking taken off. People in my neighborhood, they were breaking in, they were looting workspaces, like a place where they were just making stuff, making shovels. They went in there and just took all the shovels.
Right. Yeah, I saw that was happening. I mean, that's typical, bro, is just to grab whatever's on the shelf. I never got to participate in looting, so I don't know how it works, but I would imagine that you just grab whatever. Now you got like 30 shovels in your fucking garage.
Just imagine what a legal looting is. What happens during Black Friday?
Pretty much. Yeah.
People are just grabbing anything that costs $1.
Be black though, but yeah, pretty much.
Because when you're in the red, it's bad, bro. As far as shopping,
right?
When you're in the red, I mean, you're in the red, so you're in debt,
right? You owe
money. Be in the black. It's everything's checked off.
That's why they call it Black Friday. There you go, everybody.
History for fools.
History for fools.
All the dots are checked off.
There you go, dude. You learn something new every day, and that's what I just learned right now.
What about Thin Blue Line? What's that one?
Cops. I don't know why they call it a Thin Blue Line, though. Probably because it's easy to like step over. If you're a cop, it's easy to just fucking
That's why, bro.
take money
that
or
part
fuck people up for no
of
reason.
Chicano SWAT make me so mad, bro.
Which part?
And that was a thing they did in the past. They had each other's back.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck. It's always a happy story years later, dude.
Everybody, let me tell you, man, no matter what division you work in, everybody has their back.
Right.
Whether you're a fireman, they have each other's back.
You're fucking cops.
They have each other's
Bro,
back.
if someone broke into the house right now, we'd all have each other's back. You know what I mean? If I was a gardener here and I didn't know you guys and someone broke in, I would have your backs. You know, like it's just, that shit bothers me. It's just like, oh, you're just fucking filling space with your talk.
Yeah, man. History for Fools, LA Riots, 1992.
LA Riots, 92, 92. We wanted to just kind of up. That was the thing, bro, is because people were like, this is crazy. And I'm like, bro, the fucking LA Riots, people died. There was injuries, fucking fires. Motherfuckers were pulling people out of the cars and beating
spray
them.
painting genitals.
Yeah, dude, it was crazier.
But there was some sexual assaults, but they don't want to put those out there because it'll just scare everybody. I think they should just put every crime up there now.
Well, there was a lot. The statistics are out there. But yeah, so there you go, you guys. Fucking 92 riots. Better than 2025.
There's really nowhere to take, nothing to take as far as
Well, there's no
2025.
shops anymore. What are you going to steal? You can't fucking raid Amazon.
People take iPhones, but then you gotta turn them on.
They're going to turn those off.
Fuck that.
So yeah, there's nothing to take anymore. There's just fucking pick up pieces of concrete and throw them at cop cars.
People taking caps.
I had a friend who hit me up the other day. He's all, I stole so many hats in the LA riots. In the 92 riots, by the way.